Noor Odeh joins us for more on this now from the Jordanian capital, Amman. She's there because the Israeli government's banned Al Jazeera from reporting inside Israel and the occupied West Bank. Noor, this growing anger over the release of the captives' bodies, does the public have a realistic understanding of what that delay is?
Good morning, Anna. The public doesn't really have all the information. There hasn't been enough transparency, and you can see that in the discussions. The Israeli government is holding its ground, accusing Hamas of knowing where the bodies are, of refusing or procrastinating in retrieving those bodies. And that fuels the anger and the pressure domestically. But on the other hand, everybody knew that this was going to be a difficult task. The Israeli intelligence community, the Israeli army, in fact, even during the war, when Israeli soldiers were detonating tons of explosives to level entire neighborhoods and communities, there were warnings that this is going to complicate the search for the bodies of Israeli captives, and that's exactly what you see now. Add to that the fact that Israel is not cooperating with countries that are lending help to possibly look for those remains. Turkey, for example, was ready to send 81 experts in the retrieval of bodies, and Israel has not allowed it to enter, has not allowed it to provide equipment that could possibly facilitate that. Remember, there are thousands of Palestinians buried under those millions of tons of rubble that Israel created across Gaza, and access to more than half of the Gaza Strip is off limits, is impossible because the Israeli army remains there. So all of that information is not really part of the public debate in Israel, and it just adds to the pressure, which gives Israel room, the government at least, room to say, we're not happy, Hamas is not complying, we're going to think of ways to punish them.
Yeah, on that note, Noor, there's also some discussion now that the Rafah crossing remain closed until those captives' bodies are returned, so it's a sticking point already, but that is where the aid needs to come in. Is there any indication Israel's prepared to meet its obligations under the agreement there and relinquish any control at that crossing at all?
Well, really, it all boils down to the 200 American monitors who will be working to push all sides to be in compliance, to the mediators as well, who are in constant contact with Washington. Everybody is ready for the Rafah crossing to open except Israel. The EU BAM, the EU monitoring force, is ready. Its mandate is renewed. Its personnel have been hired. The Palestinian Authority is ready to assume responsibility for passport control. And the Egyptians are also ready. We know that Egypt insists on operating the crossing according to the agreement of 2005 between Egypt and Palestine with the participation of the European Union. Israel wants a different arrangement that allows it absolute control. Remember, in addition to the goods that are sorely needed, 170,000 Palestinians are injured. Thousands of them require urgent medical attention outside of Gaza. This is what we're hearing from medical officials. The evacuation can only happen through the Rafah crossing. Even the few patients who were being transferred out through the Kerem Abu Salim or Kerem Shalom crossing during the genocide, they haven't been allowed out. So Rafah crossing is fundamental for many reasons, aid and the rescue of those who need medical aid at the moment.
Noor Odeh joining us from Amman in Jordan. Thank you very much for the update.
Don't miss out to get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.